Class of 2024, welcome to your sophomore registration. This is such an exciting time, and as you guys have gone through your freshman year, hopefully you've been able to explore some different opportunities that Legend High School has to offer you. Now, with that being said, you really are starting to create the pathways that you want to choose in high school. Make sure sophomore year is a time to explore everything that Legend has to offer. As you go through your course registration, make sure that you are clicking on the Legend website and going to the academic course guide. This truly is your best resource to find the opportunities that Legend has to offer our students. Now, with that being said, you need to be conscious as a sophomore student if you are diving into different areas, whether that is in our practical arts, our fine arts, our visual arts program, or our theater or choir, you must be conscious of prerequisites. Prerequisites are classes that you must take in order to take a certain class. It is in our academic course guide, and you can find it under each of our classes to make sure you're on the right path. Again, our message for you is explore the different elective options that you have as a sophomore student and think about your future and the things that you might want to study or you might want to do as a career within what you're registering. And also, don't forget, make sure you're taking classes that are going to be fun and you are going to enjoy. Talk to your friends, talk to your advisors, and one of your best resources is going to be your current teachers. They will help you to get in the right spot, whatever courses you might be selecting, whether that's your core classes or your elective classes. It is an exciting time of year where you get to choose your education and the path that you want to explore. As you explore the course guide, you will also see there are some different certification programs. Make sure you are looking at our STEM certification if you're interested in science, technology, engineering, and math, or our graphic design certification. There are certain major courses that you must take and then one elective course in order to be a certified graphic designer from Arapahoe Community College by the time that you leave high school.
When you begin to register for classes, you will notice that there's a few more options for you. Like Mr. Symington said, things begin to open up a little bit. You want to think about prereqs, you want to talk about pathways. So do explore as much as possible. Most of our sophomores will be taking 7 classes. It's a really smart decision, okay? So freshman year you take 7 classes, sophomore year you take 7 classes, and then things begin to open up a little bit more in your junior and senior years. All right, so for the most part, you're going to take 7 classes. If for some reason you need an off period, you will be able to choose what off period that is. We are anticipating we'll be back on the modified block schedule that you started with last year, so keep that in mind when you do choose an off period. But again, highly suggested that sophomores would take those 7 classes so you have a lot more freedom and flexibility to explore more things your junior and senior year. When it comes down to actual classes, you're going to go through the registration sheet and you're going to look at the boxes and you'll see the different options for you. So in English, again, you're going to decide, are you an English 2 student? Are you an English 2 honors student? All right, are you on the honors pathway? You might begin to develop some interest in different English electives, such as creative writing, public speaking, debate, or composition and news. Again, being able to explore different things outside the traditional English classroom. Within math, you will continue to be guided by your teachers in terms of pathways that make sense for you. That could be geometry, it could be honors algebra 2 trig, it could be algebra 2, okay? It just sort of depends on where you're at with things. So get some guidance from your teachers around those various pathways. Within science, some of you have come from earth science, some of you have come from biology, some of you have come from biology honors. So you'll have the next path that you can explore, which could be chemistry. It could be chemistry honors, or for some of you it might be biology. There are a few AP classes that open up your sophomore year within science. Do talk to your teacher about that. You're really going to want to love that subject area before you dive in as a sophomore to some of those AP classes. In social studies, the most normal pathway students would take would be to take that U.S. history class your sophomore year. That is a requirement for graduation along with some world history. So talk to your advisor if you have questions about that piece. Otherwise, people might want to take the AP Government class. That is a popular sophomore class as well. I would encourage you, if you don't like government, don't take AP Government, because you'll spend a lot of time exploring government. You can also take AP Human Geography if you didn't take that your freshman year. So there's a few more options in social studies, but for the most part, students get the U.S. history credit. In world language, you can continue on with the path, whether you're going to the next level within Chinese, French, and Spanish.
As you know, there is a fine art graduation requirement. So you can take classes in fine art to satisfy your graduation requirement, or this might be an area that you just love and love these classes. So our first option is within band. Make sure you are signing up for marching band first semester, and then you would be in wind ensemble, jazz band, color guard, or percussion tech. In orchestra, you're part of the string orchestra or chamber orchestra. Choir, you can be part of treble choir, tenor bass choir, or you can try out for our select women's choir or select mixed choir. Theater, we have a couple different options. From the performance aspect, you can go theater 1 through 4, or into theater production ensemble for our more advanced theater students. You could also be behind the scenes with our tech theater. And then we also have guitar. You can do guitar 1 through 3. Continuing on with our fine arts credits, you can get into our visual arts program. Okay, within visual arts, you can take classes in jewelry, and dependent on whatever level you want to be, photography. We also have an ACC professional photography class to get college credit. You have ceramics, moving up to AP ceramics, or draw and paint, which also goes through the AP level. Next year, we are also starting to offer some honors level art classes, so be on the lookout for those. And then finally, you can also take graphic design, which will count as your fine art credit. Intro to graphic design, Photoshop and Illustrator, graphic design 3 or 4, and we also have an AP graphic design class. Next up is physical education. So there are some small changes that you need to be aware of. You will notice that power weights is no longer on our registration sheet. We now have strength and conditioning, and for that is our beginner lifters. You must take that at least for a year before you get into strength and conditioning too. You also notice our shape up and fitness class, team sports. We have our advanced team sports for kids who really love that team sports class, nutrition and wellness, athletic training 1 and athletic training 2, and Broadway dance can be used as a PE credit. All students need to make sure they have at least 1 year of PE for their graduation requirements. Next up is practical arts. So you will notice that there's several different pathways within practical arts. Decide if you are interested in the engineering pathway, the computer science pathway, the business and marketing, the digital design, or criminal justice. You also can mix and match and come in and out of those different pathways and really explore what interest you might have. In engineering, make sure you start with our Intro to Engineering class before you jump to Engineering 1, 2, 3, 4, and then for those students interested in architecture, we have several CAD classes for students in that architecture pathway. In computer science, start with Intro to Programming, and that will lead you into your Intro to Computer Science. We now have game design development, cybersecurity, and we have a capstone for students who want to major in this in college. In business and marketing, you can be part of our DECA and FBLA programs, which continues to grow and are winning several different awards. These classes include Marketing 1, Marketing 2, Personal Finances, Intro to Business, Social Media Business, Sports Marketing. You could run our school store as a school store manager, and our Intro to Entrepreneurship class, and the capstone class for seniors is called simply Entrepreneurship. And then our digital design program. One of the great benefits and offerings that we have at Legend High School is our graphic design certificate. Students who follow along in the graphic design certificate can graduate from high school certified as a graphic designer, and maybe that's a job you want to secure as you go through college and work as a graphic designer. Those classes include Intro to Graphic Design, Photoshop, Illustrator, video editing, 3D animation, and motion graphic design. And finally, within Practical Arts is our criminal justice program. Next year, we are offering Intro to Criminal Justice and Criminology, which both are college level courses. So if you're interested in a psychology degree or want to get into criminal justice, this is a great pathway for you. Remember, many of these classes are tied to our DECA, FBLA, and TSA programs. As a student, if you haven't explored these are great opportunities that many kids, when they graduate Legend, say is some of the most valuable memories of their education that they have. All right, so as you've heard today, you have a lot of options as a student. Our goal at Legend High School is really to help you guys find your pathway for success and to take classes that you are going to enjoy and engage in your learning. So with that being said, you do need to remember we do not do schedule changes. Your best resource is the academic course guide. Please make sure you are going to the Legend website and you are clicking on that course guide and read it from beginning to end. It has a lot of great information, but even more so, great opportunities for you to explore. With that commitment, there are some other aspects that you need to be aware. In the email that you received, if you are taking any ACC concurrent enrollment or ACC class, there is a concurrent enrollment contract. You are saying that you are committed to that class and you want the college credit for that. This also applies to any advanced placement class. As an advanced placement student, you are required to take the advanced placement test at the end of the year. You are committing to that test. You must sign the contract in that email and return it within a week. So with all that being said, this is an exciting time of year for all of us where you get to choose the classes that you want to explore next year. Talk to your teachers, talk to your advisors. They are all amazing resources who can tell you more in depth of what each class has to offer and the exciting opportunities that it will give you. We hope you have a good time, and please don't ever hesitate to reach out to your advisor if you have any questions. Thanks.